Good. It's doing its job. It's moving a lot better. And it's done something different when I did it. But I put the fire lot, but that's, you mark this for your thing. It says 10x degrees. See that what it is? That's what it shows like. This is your 10-degree angle. Memory's that way. This is this right here, where they call 10, that's 0 degrees, that's north. So you want the indicator to do north. And then the way we do it, just push the initial to program it. You can do it with arrows when you move it. It moves very smooth. Yeah, it's 35 degrees. See, it moves the other way. Before it couldn't do that. Yeah, it'll go backwards that way, but when you used to do it, it jammed itself when it did that before. But what I did, I unjammed it. When I put that oil and grease, it's doing a fantastic job now. So if you want a program to do north, it'll go the other way. It won't jam that way like it does. I fixed it. You guys might have to take one of these apart, do like I did, grease the shafts, and the grease is going to hold in there very good. I don't care. And I greased the middle rod too with it too. I didn't mess with the silver things in the middle, like the loops. That's usually making that noise. It's not grinding the wheel. They usually will kick in the gear, but that'll make that noise to do it. I'm going to go the other way around in a second. Yeah, it stayed on north. So it's not, it'll stay off a little degree, but it's alright. It's fine, it locks it that way. Let's check it this way. We want to move it to north this way. It'll stay north like that, doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as it's on that metal bar. That's where it stays right there. I'm going to leave it along the line of due north. Looks like it. Right there. Let's hit it initial. Hold it down. Before I can do that, we'll do that in a second. See if it lines back up. I like this rotor, it will go the other way around. So most I unlock it. When I type those new bolt things in there. So you can do some improvements like I did. If it had that problem like in my previous video, you guys saw what it did. Like it won't go that way. No, it won't go that way when it does initially. You have to go all the way around and wind it that way to go that way. But there were some scratches in the wall inside that thing I saw. It'll make that clicking sound, it's fine. So we're down to 90 degrees, 80 degrees, 70 degrees, 60 degrees, 50 degrees, 30 degrees. Now we're down by almost right there. Yep. We want it really perfect right there. Then we're going to go all the way back. Yeah, we're going back the other way. And on the rewind cell. So I'm going to go back that way. It'll do that. You can do. It was doing like CD rotation. I'm going to go all the way back to the other way. So I'm just trying to do some lubrication realignment. So it does that. Long you put this little line thing through north on your pole, that's what I'm saying. And the way I'm going to lay to make the beam go up is not going to lay the ratials down. I have to lay the beam like this. Like these things down to the ground and they raise up like that. You guys get the idea, to raise up like that. Instead, you don't want them lay on the ground like that to raise up because it'll touch the Mako. I just want to get the rotor some lubrication used to it. It's going to do very well, guys. But I did that grease. It doesn't matter, but that's what we need. And you can improve your rotor, but if we can get better, yeah, that'll make that clicking sound. It's not gonna break it. It just did that, it'll make that kind of noise when it does that. But it's okay. It's not gonna break or grind. So it's really a little bit off on the 360 degrees, it's okay. The way you do it. And it's back to 360. So that's actually 360 degrees. Means actually on the side. The other side, when it goes out of that part, back in the middle, it's actually due north. So see how that's 360 degrees? North is usually right to the left side, this way right here in the middle. But very little bit off, but it's pretty good. We're going to do initial again. And program it again. It'll go that way though it did. We're going to make sure it's calibrated. Those little things up here, they can, that's where the brackets will go in there. Those little loop things. Now you connect them here, the bracket stays here. The hole will go right in the middle. Wish there was something like an aftermarket where it clips them together, something like that, one of these pieces. If someone has one of those pieces, that would be great. To have something like that to clip the pipe together either way, you could do that. But you don't want to do that. That height goes with the loop. So that normal makes that sound. Before it didn't make that sound before. Maybe that's how the clip kind of line. We'll have to look inside so it looks like after we get done all these roding type things. But it'll make that noise. It's not going to break it. How is it making it kicking out of that thing? Yeah. Let's see. I want it like that either way. It's due north right on right. It's perfect. That's what I want. It's a little off degrees, but that's what we want north. We'll just readjust it again. Go back. I ain't gonna get anything better than that. I'm gonna reprogram it again. I'm gonna do some lower again. Yeah, we want to do north like that, doesn't matter. As long as you get this bracket lined up the way like this. As long as it's on that metal thing in the middle, you can use north as that. That's why I tied the piece of string right here. When I do that, I use that as a north position. That's what I do. So let's do it again. It'll go that other way. That's pretty good. The other CDW. See, it's on a different rotation now. But I'm recalibrating it to make sure everything's good. It's pretty cool. So that's how you make north position happens. So you take your warning compass off the GPS, you go out there and set that antenna due north, then you calibrate your device to do it a number of times. And once you get it right on the 0 degrees, you gotta look at it. But this is the best way to do it. It'll make that clicking sound. I think that's normal. I think that's actually the capacitor making the noise, or the motor. The capacitor is sort of close to there. It sounds like the motor on that side that does that. Ah, that is actually due north. I'm going to go a little bit that way. I'm going to put it right about there. Let's see. That's what I wanted. Now I'm going to get any better than that, guys. Alright, let's calibrate it. Hold it again. It'll go the other way, that's what it does. But the way you do that, you wind it this way, then it'll go back that way. See what it does, it comes back to the same position. I'm going to do that again. It's amazing it can do all that stuff, man. It's really cool. So I'm showing the rotor thing. This is with the grease in. And I want to recommend for the Rca VH226E. So get some bearing grease, like I got, it should be able to make your rotor improve. And if anybody has problems with the rotor, put some bearing grease inside. They have those little loop things. I think they're sealed. I think you can buy those for aftermarket parts. But I didn't mess with that. I just put it on the sprockets to make it more better, so they don't grind the wheels either way. But it should work with my serial with this. Yeah, it's perfect. It's really perfect line at 0 degrees. And I want to rewind the stack the other way. And go back to the same position. And we're going to do this again. That's 80 degrees, 90 degrees. That's 100 degrees. I think it's 111 degrees, 120, 113, 140 degrees, sorry, 150 degrees, 160, 170, 180. That's 190 south. That's 190 is 19 is actually 190 south. It's really close on that position. But I want to put that rod to the north. But most of that oil is going to do everything I want to do. Along with putting the sprockets, it's not going to clog it up. But I put a lot of it in there, because it will lubricate better. And it doesn't sound like, it sounds very smooth. Yeah, it's 360 degrees. Let's turn this off for a second. Turn it back on. You do that when you calibrate, when you turn it off. Yeah, that will work. You can do that when you turn off the box. Let's make sure this is lined up. Right there. Let's do the calibration right now. We want to put it in that north position like that. See, there's little techniques guys can learn. Yeah, it's really close. Shit. No, don't worry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, YouTube. Shoot, man. Cookie man. Asiman, sorry. YouTube, love this video. Please put this on your ad for the Rca VH226E. So this is recommended, means if people get bearing grease, I want people to get that for the rotor so it improves it better and it makes it more smoother. Put it in their sprockets. To all those UDX guys out there who has one of these rotors, I'm talking about UDX 791. You should do the same thing with your rotor right now. Get some of that grease I told you about, the bearing grease, if you see it on my video. And this will improve your antenna better, okay? I'm going to go back to the same thing to get this position. And I'm going to do this one more time before we go. So UDX 791 Jungle Joe, you have the same rotor as mine, the Rca VH226E. So I put bearing grease in the sprockets and the middle rod too. Didn't mess with the ones on the silver things, like the round silver things you've seen. I didn't open that and put grease in those. Those you probably don't need to touch those. I think they're sealed. So when you get time, make sure you get some bearing grease for your rotor to put on the sprockets like I did. And make sure you do that so to make it run a lot longer. Put a lot of hack in it. I didn't have to use that much. I only used like a cup of it. Not very, like a cup, very teeny, almost the size of either way. There we go. That's what I want. 360 degrees. I want in that position to stay on the middle of that thing. And we're going to do it again before we go. And I'm not going to mess with it after this point. That will get that to the 0 degrees north. And when you put this hole in the middle, when I tie the string to this thing, like right here, that's usually I want to put north on. And then I hold this down the string on the hole where I want to put where I want to drill the holes in, where I want to, when I raise it up on that position. That will do where the antenna will stay on the right thing, and this indicator will keep me on count either way. I already did it with the GPS measure. I put some frog tape. I used a piece of mostly current marker to put north right on the close to the top of the cell phone here, on my mom's cell phone, when I did the GPS thing on the compass thing. So I make sure I did that to when I do this, I can actually aim the right position. It'll be pretty close, so I did. Because just imagine, look how much other rotors cost. Yeah, it's a little bit off, but it's really fine. And we're going to do it again. Because north is going to be very close on this thing. And I'm going to let you guys go. Yep, it's going to go back to the position. Wait, let me turn it off. I'm going to go back. It's a technique I have to try to recalibrate it. And we're going to put it right back on this position. Right there. Not going to get any better than that. I want to keep it right on there. Let's do it. 35 degrees, 350 degrees. Usually goes to 360. We're trying to get it back to 0 degrees. You gotta learn how to do this, guys. I'll give you a little demonstration. You guys can see the little white thing moving around. I know you can't see it above. It looks like a Pac-Man shape. You guys see that thing? If you guys want to put some more improvements to this thing, let me know. But at least I put some grease in it. It's going to be good. And I'll have to check what it looks like in the box after we shut this thing off. See if we get any ooze out of it. I'm going to take a look at it in a minute before we shut this down. So it made that noise. You guys heard that? Maybe that's some kind of position when it jumps out of the loop thing with the rod. I don't think it's hitting grind on the side of it. If I did that before, but I put some better grease in it. So it lined up the same thing. Oh, okay. That's where I wanted at. In 0 degrees. I don't want to mess with it at all. So we're going to keep it just like that. We'll see you in a few minutes to see what it looks like inside. Well, the good news, guys. You guys see that rotor down there? That thing in that little hole? Let's see if you can zoom see it. It's in there. That looking good, guys. Looking beautiful. So no grease fell through this whole system yet. And there's no residue on it. Good. So the grease stayed inside its little shaft. It'll be on all the bottom. I don't care if it's on the bottom inside of it. It'll be okay when it build it up. There's no grease in the road. This is the hardest part I did today. That butterfly nut, I call it. And the way I show you guys how to do it, you got to pinch it on that one side. No, this side you press this button down. Then you use some kind of flathead screwdriver to get it in there. This is the most painful thing you have to deal with this thing. Especially for jungle gel, if you're going to take it apart again. Especially my wire is looking good. So I'm going to affect that wire. So I just want to leave it just like that. So I tighten on there. This doesn't move anything at all when this thing does. So it's not, no, that's just a piece of hair. It's not crack. It's just a piece of stupid hair. It'll be okay. Let me get that off there. Good. Okay. And that's what I have to learn. And mostly you don't want to leave this. I just unplugged the box when I did this and opened it up. Just make sure you do that. So that's the rotor cable wire. It's looking good, guys. And there's the model number right there on the side. You see right there. So our grease did not fall through the shaft. That's the one that has that protecting silver thing you guys saw. That's that shaft, the sprocket I did. I put oil on that, and I put oil in this motor today too. The one you guys saw, the motor of this thing. I did put oil, the same grease on this, and I did that. I lubricate that too, so it's gonna run very good, and it's gonna last you a very long time. I probably don't have to touch the oil for the next 15 to 20 years or 10. That's why I did that. So, Jungle Joe or Electron Man, get some bearing grease, put it on those sprockets like I showed you. And what you told me, You saw inside they actually put thread in and all that stuff. I didn't see anything in the screws. Probably the silver thing I did not take apart. I didn't mess with that. Those are the bearings. I don't touch those. Those you don't have to touch those for a long time. The only thing you have to do is you do the sprockets, put bearing grease on it, so it'll make it last a lot longer and it won't grind your wheels. And it probably does not, but if you put it in there, it'll run smoother, and it's going to give me what I want to do. It's green stuff. It's actually green, and I actually can see it in there, but it's going to do okay when I'm looking at it. I know you guys can't see it, but it's in there. And I think that maybe get a little light of it. Maybe we can show it some light of it. I know. There it is. You guys can see some light of it. There we go. You guys see the sprockets, and that's where the oil's at in that thing. It's got plenty of oil in that. That's the one that makes the motor moves around. That's part of the motor that goes in there. Hi, that's what it is. The motor actually goes in this hole here, where it makes the thing move around. This is where the part goes right here. That's where it goes. This is the one, that little silver thing I showed you with the bracket. And it's looking good. And it smells like grease inside of it. Very nice smell. It's got that nice greasy smell. Is that bearing grease? It's got really nice smell. And it's better grease than when I put it in there before. It's all the sprockets I did in there. So it's going to run really smooth for a long time. And it's still got that little green there you can still see. And I can still see it in there. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a great one. UDX 362 East Tennessee. Don't forget you get some bearing grease at Wally World, but you guys saw it on there on YouTube a while ago. And don't forget to look at that. Get some of that for this rotor. I want you guys to make sure you get some bearing grease for this rotor to put it on the sprockets so you guys can make it last longer and you won't have future problems down the road. But I think it's actually a much newer sprocket, the ones I've seen on Amazon reviews. You should see it, and it showed one of these sprockets broke off because it probably didn't have grease on it. That's probably what it is, or you had too much weight on the antenna. But get some grease for this thing. Promise to grease up the sprockets. It doesn't matter if you violate the warranty. They don't have a hardly technical support from RCA, which you get it from. But if you can get the parts of this motor, that'd be awesome. If I had a bunch of these motors, they're kind of warm. It actually is very warm on this motor. They do get heat up, so it'll be okay. It warms up. It's not going to burn up the motor when you put grease in it. It'll cool down, but that's only if you do it way too much thing. But you're going to line the position contact every like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Usually your motor's not going to heat up that much when you move the position you want. If you want to hunt for DX, but it does warm this motor up pretty good. That's what it does when I did the lubrication process. So guys, you're going to love this thing. The VH226E. And I'll tell you about RCA, if you are watching this video, please put some bearing grease in the sprockets. Make them really packed, because a lot of people use these for CB radios and ham radios when they start out for their beams. This is going to go on the Serial SY27 4-element beam, and then some people actually already have these for the 3-element beams, and on YouTube I've seen. But if you guys are going to do a redesign product, make sure you put some oil in this, and also please sell some parts of this motor. If you guys know where I can get one of these motors for a backup, I would love to have one of these. If you guys want to send me in to show that, I don't mind. But if you guys know how to get one of these motors, let me know where I can buy this at. For your RCA VH226E, your model number. If you know where I can get one of these motors, let me know. And if you guys want to put in the comments where I can get another one of these motors later on for like a backup spare, and you can put it back in, and the one comes with the sprocket with the camshaft inside of it. That would be nice to have. But 390 Wagmaster, check it out when you do. I want you to get one of these rotors and look at it. Maybe you put it on your beam antenna later on, or go with something, or try it out. Maybe you can give one of these things for a giveaway on your channel. One of these rotors, like the RCA VH226. That's the model number here. You guys can see it here. This is the version 2.0 version. If you get one, show off one of these on the video and make sure you do some grease to it, okay? And this is the tough part you have to do, okay? This little butterfly nut thing is the hardest part you have to do, to take time with it, and you'll know how to do it. But if you have small hands, you can do this. And that took me a lot of time, for almost 30 minutes to an hour, to get this in until I found a way how to do it. I pressed on this, then I used a flathead screwdriver to get it on one of the sides to do it, and it popped back in. It's easy to take it out, no problem with a flathead screwdriver, a small one. So I'm going to tell you, that's the hardest part you have to do. The easy part is greasing it up. And I show you guys what a tear down video I had to show. I know Electron Man was going to do one. He didn't do it. He forgot to do. So I gave you guys an idea. This is the motor that actually makes the thing move around. You guys can see that little rotor in here. It connects to that. But Popcorn, check this out. Maybe get one of these for your son. Get him to check out this rotor I'll show you guys look at, or Cornbread. So this is Foxman 362, UDX 362, East Tennessee. Catch you all later, and we're good. This thing's gonna be great for me once we get this beam up there. When I get it all that way, I have to do everything I have to do for it. So this is gonna be great when it's greased up. I don't have to worry about problems down the road with this stuff. Like if it's 2 years down the road, 4 years down the road, I don't have to worry about anything like that. Anything grinding the wheels, anything like that. It has the antenna on it. The grease is going to make it last long, a very long time, maybe 10 to 15 years at least. You have to do it again. I don't know. It depends on the weather. As long as this cover does not get water inside of it, it's good. And it covers up when you do this. And you put the screw back on. And I probably have to respray paint this again. So I'll catch you guys later. UDX 362, East Tennessee. Have a good night. And we'll bring out some videos sometime soon.